Hey guys, Danny Weshy here in the tropical room, but today's video is not about me. No, today we're gonna get to know my brother Nathan. See, where I stopped keeping fish for a while, my brother never actually stopped. So he's been, in a way, keeping fish longer than I have. But today is also his birthday, so I'm just gonna let him take over from here and let him, tell you about himself and show you his tanks and let him talk about his fish tanks. I do want to go ahead and warn you, there's probably gonna be a couple little audio spikes and stuff like that. I film it all through my phone and I don't have a fancy microphone. So just be prepared for that. But don't forget to, like and subscribe and, leave me a comment and all that. And wish my bro a happy birthday. Anyway, here he is.
Hey, my name is Nathan. I have been either keeping my own tanks or at least helping out take care of the family fish tank for pretty much my entire life. As long as I remember, we had a family tank. My mom still has the 29-gallon tank that we had since we were little. Before that, I think it was a 20. And it was always fun for me to help pick out what was in there. Usually it was different live bears. We tried gouramis, tried hermit crabs once that tried to escape from the tank. We had a dojo loach that swam up in the filter. So yeah, always helped out with the family tank, and then I probably got my own tank the first time when I was maybe 13, 14, got a little 5-gallon tank. I don't technically have that one in my possession anymore. I think it's still at our parents' house as an emergency quarantine tank. Just kept in the basement. But the one that I still have, that was one of my first tanks I got when I was 14 or 15. 14-gallon tank, had that in my bedroom. Tried out different fish in there, angelfish, goldfish briefly. I've bred guppies at different times, nothing too serious, but always fun to try to pick out a nice pair. Had some really pretty babies for a while. I've bred other live bears. In recent years, I've kind of accidentally bred cichlids. But anyway, I range from a 14-gallon tank to a couple of 125s. Technically, if you include the pond, I've got a 5,000-gallon tank with goldfish and koi. So yeah, right now I've got 11 tanks up and running, 10 fish tanks, 1 axolotl tank, and then the pond. It's been really fun, time-consuming, obviously, to keep up with all the tanks, but really kind of at the beginning of COVID-19 is when I started to get lots more tanks. There was one day where I got used from some guy 2 55s and a 60 and all the double stands to put them on. So really just within the last few years, I've gotten a crazy number of tanks, the big tanks that I have. But I've pretty much always had tanks, whether it be just fish in my room to now where it's like everywhere you go in my house you've got fish tanks. So it's always been something I've been interested in, but especially in recent years just really took off. Kind of a very time consuming but super fun hobby.
What's your favorite fish?
Favorite fish are probably cories. I love cories. They're so fun to watch. You get them in a school, or if you're lucky, a big shoal of them just swimming around and always active at the bottom. I really like goldfish as well. I love my cichlids, but cories hold a special place in my heart. This was the first tank I got that I still currently have. It, I believe, is a 14-gallon. I had it on top of my dresser in my bedroom back in high school. Had lots of different fish in here. I tried angelfish, I've had goldfish short term, had guppies in here many times, betas a few times. Currently, we have some cherry shrimp, and then just today I added these 5 neon tetras and a new blue half moon beta. He say beta, I say beta. Potato. So we've got
Got a little assassin snail in there too.
Yep, 3 assassin snails to try to cut down on all the stupid snails.
It's really nice looking anubias.
Thank you. Got big healthy anubias, lucky bamboo that I've had for like years now. So anyone who tells you they cannot survive fully submerged, I've not really tried them that way. They don't really grow very fast at all. They hardly grow at all, but it's lived completely submerged for years.
Got a couple mangroves coming out the
mangroves
top.
out the top.
Nice.
Yeah, anubias, some Java moss, some sesquiterton.
Extra lamp for the light.
Yep, I'm not real fancy with the lights. Yeah, so two double stands, 55, 55, 55, and a 60-gallon.
Nice.
60-gallon is my Luna tank with red zebras, although they're currently all hiding. Some cobalt blue zebras and electric Leo honey. 1 Synodontis catfish and 1 rubber lip pleco. And pretty much everyone is hiding at the moment, so that's unfortunate, but sometimes it's a pretty lively tank. And some pothos and mangroves out the top. Extra tank for a single goldfish that I got too late in the season to put outside the pond, so he's just gonna chill in there until spring.
I rescued a couple goldfish the other day and I went ahead and just threw them outside. They're a decent size though.
I figured he probably would do okay, but the pond isn't in great condition right now anyway, so I just have him be in there and keep that tank cycled and then put him outside in the spring.
So you use this tank for like quarantine and stuff?
I have in the past, yeah.
Okay.
When I've gotten new goldfish and koi, I've had them in there.
Nice. Yeah. Show these nice big cichlids.
Notice that blue, cobalt blue right there doesn't have an anal fin.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he never has. I just noticed one day, like, why does he look weird? Never had an anal fin.
I wonder if it got
It might have
chewed up when he was really young,
yeah.
or
I got them all
if it
pretty
was an
small.
actual birth defect, because I mean, there's
So
birth
smooth,
defects.
Yeah, I got them all pretty young, but he has been like that as long as I remember.
Any of the little orange babies wanting to pop out?
There's a guy down there between the branches, the roots, I mean.
Oh, there. Here we go.
Just got him today.
Little bitty guy. Oh, he's so cute, though. Hi, you.
There's a big one, but he's probably underneath there. Well,
There he is.
That's not the big one, but there we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right on cue.
Doesn't always work like this, but you know, I kind of like the that red algae you got growing. It makes it look like salt water.
Yeah, same thing.
Very nice.
This is my room temp Dojo Loach and Gararufa tank. Gararufa, aka the Dr. Fish.
Yeah. Do they suck on your hands at all?
Not really, because they are fed.
Yeah.
Any viewers in the St. Louis area, if you've been to the relatively new St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station, they have the big tub of the Dr. Fish that are much smaller, but they actually do get pretty big. These guys are full grown.
Yeah.
Had them for a couple years now, and they are fun. They're some of the most active fish I've ever had. And when reading about them a little bit more after I already had them, I found out that they actually preferred room temp, cooler water, so it made perfect sense to have one tank with the Garas and the Dojos.
And if you're not in the St. Louis area and you haven't checked out the St. Louis Aquarium at all, or even if you just haven't checked it out, check out my video on my channel. I do a little virtual tour and you can see me stick my hand in the Gararufa tank, and it's a very interesting feeling. But man, these guys are like really big. Like,
yeah, that one right there.
that's a big Dojo Loach.
Danny gave me. It was dropped off at his pet store from a customer, I think. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So
Yeah,
that's
somebody
that
dropped
guy.
it off.
Yeah.
They had them in a 10-gallon tank, I believe.
And then up there's the smaller golden.
Playing into bubbles.
My algae scrubber there. And then down here I've got the one wild type.
Oh yeah, nice.
So yeah, like I said, room temp tank. Right now it's probably cruising in the low 70s, but I let it get as cool or as warm as it wants to seasonally.
So you got a couple pieces of Java fern floating freely, and what is that? Is that a type of sword there?
As I say, a Pongeton, as you say, a Ponageton.
Oh, that's your Ponageton.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a little bit spindly looking, just because I don't think it likes the cool water. But I've had it in there for a few weeks and it's hanging on, so it's just kind of seeing.
The Garufa might be kind of
maybe
roughing it up a little bit.
But I'm just seeing what happens. And then some
like
big pieces of limestone, because a couple times I've tried to bring my pH up a little bit and keep it stable.
I guess these are a type of bladder snail, probably. They just look really, really nice and healthy in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then underneath that one, we got another 55, right? And
yep. This one is the Senegal bichir.
Oh, there he is.
Dinosaur eel. One of them is very fat.
Man, look. These guys are way bigger than I remember.
Yeah. So there's two wild type. One of them is obese or possibly pregnant. I don't know. I haven't really researched whether or not they breed readily in captivity. But very, very fat.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, here we go. Hey there.
Yeah. So. The shears are super duper cool. They are predators, but they're not particularly aggressive or deadly.
Right,
they'll eat anything that's small enough. So that's why I've got the Dalmatian mollies in here that just kind of go to town, breed slowly, and I've had a few babies that I've seen in the past.
I told him to glue the Java fern onto the head of the moss, the head of the skull, and man, that actually looks really good. Nice.
Yeah, so two of the wild type bichirs, one albino that's inside this skull there. You can see him through the nose. You can probably see him in there. Maybe not with the lighting. Yeah,
there we go.
Yep.
I come around.
So there's the albino that usually likes to hang out at the top. But right now it's hanging out inside the skull.
I see that Aponageton looks great.
Yes.
That one's huge. Is that jungle val right there in the middle?
It is a type of val. I think it was. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a val. And then one little ghost shrimp. That's kind of funny with the bichirs. They tell you don't put anything in there that you don't want a chance of it getting eaten. But I've had ghost shrimp in there for weeks. And
yeah.
They either are hiding well enough or get away. Like I said, the bichirs aren't.
Oh man, it's a ghost shrimp.
Yeah.
They probably just don't see them.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, I like the way those skulls have really aged in there. It looks
You
super
can hardly
natural now.
see that one. Yeah.
It like they don't look fake anymore. They look almost real now.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so what do we got in this chilly room?
So these are my axolotls. They're all around 5 years old.
Oh, nice.
Over here is Titus. He's separated from the other three because he's kind of a jerk.
He's also smaller, it seems.
Yeah, he doesn't eat that well. Adult axolotls only need to be fed about every other day. I feed them usually earthworms that I keep in a little compost bin. He doesn't always want to eat. And I've got these ghost shrimp in there that I thought they would just devour, but who knew that ghost shrimp can cohabitate with axolotls? Yeah, so Titus is there. He floats for fun. He is capable of sinking, capable of floating. When they're sick or impacted, sometimes they accidentally float from their butt, but he does get gulps of air, as you just saw there, because he prefers to float. But when he wants to, he's at the bottom. As opposed to these three, who are all brothers from the same clutch of eggs, so that goes to show you the genetic diversity of axolotls. So right there, that is Artemis. He is a wild type axolotl, so he's kind of a dark greenish brown.
Love the name Artemis.
Yeah. And then we have Zenus, who is a true albino. There's two different main types of albino axolotls, golden albino, and he's more of a white albino. As you can see, the very, very light pinkish eyes.
Yeah.
And this is Apollos, who is not albino. He is white. He's got some freckles on his face, and he is leucistic.
Yeah.
So if you can get a nice close-up, you can see his eyes actually are blue. Maybe hard to tell in a video. But he is the most social of the three.
Yeah.
So if I kind of wiggle up top, we might get him to swim up and say hi. Come say hi. Come on, buddy. I'll stick my face up here. You gonna come up?
He's thinking about it.
Well, come say hi. There we go. Come on. You can do it.
This is a 75 gallon?
This is a 75 gallon. Yep.
Nice.
2 hang-on backs.
And a sponge filter in the middle.
And a sponge filter. You can come up. Well, like I said, the ghost shrimpers hanging out in there.
Oh, yeah,
it was an
there's one
idea
right
I had to have them kind of be fed on their own while I was out of town. So I put some ghost shrimp in there, probably like 30 of them. But I actually haven't seen any of them get eaten.
Yeah.
They just hang around, and I'm not even sure if the axolotls really notice that they're there. Shrimp just go wherever they want, but I figure it only helps the tank because they're nibbling on biofilm, cutting down on any algae that grows. I don't have a light on this because axolotls don't have eyelids. They're sensitive to light. But
And
there's
you
enough
also
natural
don't have a
light in here.
substrate as well?
No substrate because axolotls basically can either have bare substrate, bare tank, or they need to have sand. Gravel, they might accidentally swallow because they're vacuum feeders. They gulp real fast, and gravel can cause an impaction and can kill them. So I prefer to just do the bare bottom because it's easier to keep it clean. It doesn't look great, but it looks fine. So yeah.
And they have really big poops, so it's easier to clean it up too.
This is true. So this was the first 55 gallon that I got. Got this when I lived in Jeff City. I've got some neon tetras in here, 4 cherry barbs. The cherry barbs just kind of happened. There's the little one that has a bent spine that strict breeders would have called. But they just had him in
There
the
he
back
is
of
right there.
PetSmart. And they know me pretty well at PetSmart. The employee asked if I wanted a little deformed cherry shrimp for free.
Looks like he's kneeling.
Yeah, so I took him home, named him Pepe. I don't know why.
Pepe.
And then eventually I decided to get 3 more. And they all kind of schooled together, actually. So they're fun. And then...
Should have wiped your glass.
Yeah, sure.
But man, those are some gorgeous neons.
And then I've got a pearl gourami up
Oh,
top.
that poor guy right there.
Pearl gourami, which is one of the more docile of the larger gouramis. And then I don't know if they'll show themselves right now.
There's a giant bristle nose in the
Back
back.
there, albino bristle nose named Eloise.
It's huge.
And I've got a blue gourami and a gold gourami in there. The gold is especially aggressive, but I think they're both hiding in all the plants right
Yeah, you got Java fern everywhere now.
now. Yep. And a peace lily out of the top.
Little sword plant.
And
Yeah.
pothos out the top. And an elephant ear out
Yeah.
the top.
Nice.
I think
More
it's
bamboo.
alocasia elephant ear rather than colocasia. And then yeah, lucky bamboo out of the one filter.
So you got a giant sponge in there.
Yep.
Just for biomedia and stuff.
It's a limestone.
The little cherry bark.
So this was my first real planted tank. So some that's in there's pretty seasoned. Lots of roots coming down from the elephant ear.
How long has this tank been set up?
Over 2 years. Over 3 years. No. 4 years?
Nice.
Yeah, I guess about 4 years. Moved it from Jeff City.
How'd you move all your tanks?
So I got most of them after I moved, but this was the biggest one I had at the time, and just drained the water down very low, kept the fish in it, because it's, in my opinion, less stressful for them to be in low water than to be scooped out and put in buckets and put back in later. So that's how I've always moved my tanks. It's just have the water low. Air dry a little more and get like a quick shot of it afterwards, maybe.
Yeah. Keep your glass clean, people. It makes a big difference.
Do you want to see that video again?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I think we got the idea. So yeah, you're not afraid of snails, are you?
I don't love them. I've also got a couple assassin snails in there. All the tanks where I've had snails kind of explode, I've added assassin snails here and there.
You can always add loaches too.
Yeah, I've had them in this tank, but the plants are so dense that I don't really want bottom feeders other than the algae eater. Oh, there's the gold grommy.
Huh. Yep.
Yeah, he's pretty aggressive, but also a bit of a chicken. Yeah, I used to have a bunch of cories in this tank, but then I moved them to a sand tank without all the plants, and then now they're in a 125. This used to be a grommy and cory tank. Lots of big Java ferns, Amazon swords, some Nubius at the bottom.
I love the mysterious floating Java fern. It's just like suspended.
This is my newest tank. It is a 50-gallon Lowboy.
Let's see, you're rocking just one light.
Yeah, it does pretty well.
Let's get down and see what we got in here. Oh man, this view is amazing.
Yeah, so 50-gallon Lowboy. They are not readily found in the stores, so I special ordered it 2 months ago. I didn't know they existed, but when I found out about them, I was like, that would make a really, really cool beta tank. And with it being so shallow and the light penetrating the water so well, I actually can have highlight requirement plants survive for the first time.
Ooh, she's pretty.
I've never messed with fancy CO2 systems. I've had the cheap little CO2 kits from the regular pet stores, but the canisters are too expensive. It's just not worth it.
Does the light slide? Like, does it slide pretty easily, or do you have it like locked into place?
I can move it.
I was say, if you slide it to the front, we can probably see all your pretty bettas a little bit easier right now.
Sure.
Because they're all hanging out at the front. Yeah, there we go. So let's see all the pretties.
Yeah.
Look at them. Yeah, they definitely are all well fed.
Let's switch to a glow real quick.
Oh yeah, there we go. He's got a couple glows in here. 1, 2, 3.
Orange and 1 green. This glow orange and this glow green I just got today. They're looking pretty good.
So that's a Cambodian orange.
I love how this glow has some blue. They don't usually have blue. It's usually either red or hardly any coloration on their things. Regular. Yeah, so I've got 10 beta ladies in here. They don't have names yet. I might name them later, but I tend to go with themes, so I'd have to...
See, yeah, the regular line, I didn't even know that one was a glow orange. I thought it was a standard
That one is not,
Cambodia.
this one is.
Oh.
But they do look pretty similar.
They do. Wow, so pretty. It's like a rainbow.
So far I love this tank. Got a lot of these plants from Danny.
Yeah.
These 3 feature plants in the middle, the golden aceas and the red Lowboy, those were store-bought, but we've got the dwarf sage and the hair grass. A lot of these came from Danny's tanks just recently. It was nice of him to share. Some ghost shrimpies in here, which so far I've not seen the betas go after them at all. Right up there to say hi.
Got pearling on all the plants. You can see the bubbles just rising up. Yeah, 50 Lowboys are so great for plants and corals because the light is just, right there and super high power.
It wasn't terribly expensive. It was $120 for just the tank. So not cheap, but not crazy expensive. The lid we made from just a piece of polycarbonate sheet.
Yeah, and you made a little
Cut out a little hatch for feeding, and
you can attach a little hinge to that later.
yeah, I might just like literally use packing tape.
What type of light is this?
I forgot. Let me look it up. So the light is a beams work. I couldn't remember because I have basically all the different major brands other than the super expensive blue lights. But yeah, beams work. It's rated to work pretty well for light demanding plants, and especially since, like I said, this is a shallow tank. It's only 10 inches deep. The light works really well, even for the high demand plants.
Yeah.
Got lots of different plants in here. We've got the red Lowboy, the golden acea, dwarf sage, hair grass, like a card. Lots of different crap I can't even remember at the moment. And then Danny can tell you about some of the
See,
ones
I
he
gave
me
him some
recently.
water wisteria and some kabumba, or tala green that he, looks like he did it like stem by stem.
For most of them, yeah.
Then some hydrocotyle Japan trip arteta up front, some more water wisteria, hornwort. Looks like a type of sword plant there in the middle.
Yeah, Amazon sword there.
Oh, nice.
And then one little Java fern back there.
Java
And
fern.
a little mat of Java moss.
Java moth, and I got you a type of hygrophila that I don't remember what it's called, but it's kind of a bronze color. And it's like right there in the center of the screen too. And some Alternanthera reniki as well. So
Look at all that pearling right there, I'm gonna say.
yeah, I know, it's
Awesome.
gorgeous. Oh man, it's just bubba 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 bum. Beautiful.
A sign of a healthy plant. So this is the second 125 gallon that I got. This one, as soon as I got it, I wanted to put all my Corys in here. So I've got probably 4 or 5 different varieties of Cory. I've got pandas, I've got peppers, I've got some bronze/green, albinos, peppers. I've also got coolie loaches, the brown and the striped variety. Some yo-yo loaches. Banjo catfish that will definitely not show themselves on video, but they're here.
Your Aponigeton's getting really tall.
Yeah.
If you put a really strong light on it, that means it might flower for
And
you.
that one is flowered.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah. See, it came all the way behind the filter over. And then here's a brand new one that has not actually bloomed yet, but probably will in a day or two. Yes, and as you can see, a bunch of guppies. I had tried angelfish in here. I thought it would be the perfect angelfish tank, but just didn't really have long-term luck with them. They'd live for 4 or 5 months and then die, and I'd replace them, and those ones would live for 2, 3, 4 months and then die.
Oh.
So
Look at the pygmy Cory.
yep, just got them most recently. I have 6 of them. They're super cute and really fun. I'm glad I got them. Yes, I gave up on angelfish. Briefly tried female betas in here. I think it was just too tall of a tank, so they were not doing well. And then I got the 50-gallon Lowboy, and that is obviously a much better beta tank.
Oh yeah.
So here's just guppies going to town. One platy, and then a bunch of Corys, coolies, yo-yo roaches, and the banjo catfish, which currently are probably underneath the substrate there. Some of this algae is stuck on pretty good, and I can't scrub it off, so...
It's okay. I actually
what it
really
is.
like it. This tank looks super natural and like it's well seasoned. Like you could throw anything in here from outside and it'd be just fine.
Yeah. Oh, and I also have some Cichlids in here, probably like 6 or 8 of them.
Where'd you get the driftwood from?
I think all of this may have come with this tank, which is pretty awesome because they're huge pieces.
Yeah.
And then I do have some ghost shrimp in here, but it's a big enough tank that it probably won't be findable on demand. But a couple of the ones I had in here, at least last time I saw them, they had actually developed some color to them, which one might think was going to be sick or dying, but in this case one was kind of yellowish, one was kind of bluish, and it looked to be just kind of a healthy color rather than that milky pinkish white they turn when they're dead. Haven't seen them in a little while, but they looked really cool last time I saw them.
Fresh baby guppies and everything.
Yep. I figure if I ever end up with too many guppies, then I have some fun treats for my cichlids.
Speaking of cichlids,
Here's the first of the 125s that I got. This is mostly peacock cichlids. One electric yellow Lobitochromis, who technically is an Mbuna, but I had them in here because they are one of the meat-eating Mbuna, so it makes sense to have them in there with the peacocks. A couple of these big light orange ones are ones that Danny bred.
oh yeah,
I think,
this one right there is mine.
and then possibly this really big guy actually.
Oh
I think
wow.
based on his shape, because this one I'm almost positive I bought, and the smaller ones I think.
Yeah,
are
you're
ones
right.
That I bought.
I think that one right there. Wow.
Yeah. So,
Look at that.
So
These guys grew huge
Yeah.
in this 125.
So even-
those babies are bigger than their daddy.
I think that guy. I think those two. So just even within the last few months, they have
Wow.
gotten pretty dang big.
They're bigger than their dad.
Their color only filled out recently when they had to start kind of compete for the dominant male. Bright orange.
I need a 125 so bad.
And at least one of these that I have had must be female. Possibly this.
Yes, that's a female right there.
Because I have had babies off and on. I haven't had any of the babies reach adulthood, but every once in a while, every few months, I'll see one or two darting around. So yeah, a couple of the OB orange blotch patterns.
Is that a Euruptus?
I believe
Synodontis
so.
Euruptus?
Yeah, so 3 Synodontis in here that are obviously massive.
Yeah.
Featherfin squeakers. I've never
like
heard them
these.
squeak,
I like
They're
the Egyptian pot.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And we got somebody in there.
but that is Mr. One Eye.
Oh, nice.
The eye was not, that I know of, actually an injury. It was more like it kind of ulcerated. It swelled up real big, and then it must have.
Oh,
This is
Popeye.
gross, obviously, but his eye kind of popped. And
Yeah,
then
Popeye.
I thought that was going to be maybe the end for him, but just kind of healed over. So ever since then, he's just had the one eye. So lots of orange in here. A nice electric yellow. A lot of these guys do have names. They don't have names for all the different orange ones, but most of the rest.
That's a plastic rock,
yes.
right? Yeah.
So this tank is a mixture of plastic store-bought ornaments that I got with tanks that I bought, and some actual
that's real
stone.
stuff.
All the lighter gray are limestone as a pH and.
Oh, you got a rubber lip pleco in here.
Yes, I do.
Little bitty 3-inch guy.
Yep, he's stayed pretty tiny.
That's the size they get. He's not gonna get any bigger than that.
I thought they got maybe like 4 or 5 inches.
No, they get about 3 inches.
Well,
There you go.
and then you have the 3 Synodontis and 1 striped Raphael catfish, which might come out if I feed them. So I'll go ahead and do that. Depending on the tank and depending on the Raphael, you may not literally see them for years at a time. But I do see mine pretty regularly. He's learned to come out when there's food rather than just coming out at night like they naturally do. So we'll see if maybe he'll come out. He's very cute. He's a little chubster. He has to kind of compete with the 3 Synodontis. Like that. Then you have another elephant ear at the top. Little tiny store-bought refugium.
And you didn't paint the wall that came with the house that you
That
bought it,
came
right?
with the house, and I have not.
It looks good though as a backdrop.
Yeah, it's alright. Haven't been motivated to paint over it. There he is.
Oh, there he is. That he's a big boy.
He's coming out the other way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've been lucky enough that I see him pretty regularly. We had one a few years ago. Mom had in a
Yeah.
49-gallon that we would only see him once every few years.
Got himself so jammed up far in the castle, ended up surviving a bleach bath for a few weeks, and
Yeah, he refused to come out. The ornament, the castle ornament, was taken out of the tank to scrub it.
Yep.
He was in it the whole time and then came out after it went back in the tank. But mine comes out to eat pretty often.
And then let's see, how do you filter this big boy?
We've got an FX4 canister filter
Yeah.
and a Marineland hang-on back.
A little
refugium.
mini refugium. Just filled with duckweed.
Duckweed and Sesfassertang.
Oh,
And
Sesfassertang.
guppy
Now I know where I
grass.
can get some Sesfassertang.
Yeah, and I have some up in my beta tank as well. Bedroom one.
Nice.
And also some guppy grass, maybe a little bit of hornwort in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's hard to see because it's just so full of green.
Yeah,
But there are
you can see from
multiple
this
different
angle,
things in
nice.
there. Every once in a while I just scoop all of it out, and if it's something nice and usable I might put it in another tank, but other than that I just throw it away.
And then you built your own little DIY refugium over here too, right?
Yep. So we've got water pumped in to here. We've got the aragonite sand in there to try to keep the pH up of the main tank. We've got
And a couple
mostly
shrimpies.
cherry shrimp, also a few ghost shrimp. I started with Amanos. There may be a few Amanos still in there, but they do not breed in fresh water.
It looks like there's a couple of monos.
Yeah. And then, yeah, cherries, and I think some of the baby cherries don't have much coloration. So they kind of revert back to being more clear, but just full of roots from the other half of that peace lily. The other half is upstairs.
More mangroves in the back.
Mangroves in the back, and pothos, and guppy grass, and hornwort, and lots of little happy shrimpies in there. So yeah, water flows in through this pump and then is pumped back into the main tank.
And you built this refugium because you have nitrates and ammonia in your water, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But now you have an RO system?
Yes, since then I got an RODI, so not as much of a problem.
You have a full RODI, okay.
Yeah, so water changes actually have a lot more benefit now. Before, I would just try to dilute the high nitrate water with lower nitrate water. Now it's actually a lot more effective.
Yeah.
Right, it's 55 gallon drum.
Just a little, the Barracuda.
Aqua FX Barracuda.
Little RODI system, got it.
100 gallon a day.
Doesn't have it hooked up right now, but
Collection barrel.
nice. A little pump at the bottom.
Yeah, I circulate and heat it when I'm getting ready to use it. And I remineralize with salty shrimp.
We got bunnies!
Bonus pets.
It's not fish people, but hey, who doesn't love a cute little bunny?
Very cute.
Oh my goodness, they're so friendly too.
So the mostly white one with the lop ears and the fluffy little head is Uhtred. Shout out to Last Kingdom fans. And the mostly black one is Finnan. And he is a mini Rex, so his fur is basically velvet. If Danny can get top
Oh
of
my
feel,
goodness.
you can feel how soft he is.
He's so smooth looking too.
Yep. So with the Rex fur, it doesn't get any longer than that. So they tend to be heavy shedders because it just gets that length and then they shed it out. But they basically only have undercoat, I think. They don't have any guard hairs. So it's just only the soft, downy fur.
Yeah, his coat looks so smooth, it literally looks like he got a perfect buzz cut. Every single hair is the exact same length.
So they
It's
open
crazy.
it up
Oh.
see if they'll come say hi. So you can cop a feel if they want to.
Oh yeah, just stepped right
Yeah,
in.
go for it.
Just don't want to step on any poop. Come here. Hi, Bunny. Oh, you got. It's okay. I understand. I'm a scary guy, and you're a prey animal.
But Uhtred's saying hi.
Hi.
So his fur is normal. But if Finnan will let you touch him, he's velvet soft. It's okay, guys. He's a pet person.
Oh wow.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Like a chinchilla. Yeah, so he's a mini Rex,
He's super soft.
and Uhtred is a mini lop lion head mix.
Okay.
Just a preview for a better video in the spring.
Yeah. I'll get another video, next year. But I just wanted to show you guys. I know I've talked about it before on some live streams, but yeah, my brother got it's a 5,000 gallon above ground pool that's 4 foot deep, but he got an excavator and buried it 2 foot into the ground. So it's if I stand, and it gets a little bit of a ditch right next to it, but if I stand relatively close to it, it's about knee high, and but yeah, it's 4 foot deep, and you can't see any of the fish right now, but
One, because it's cold. Two, because it's
yeah,
cold.
it's
But in
about
the spring,
it's about 37 degrees right now because we're mid-December right now, but it's
just like
there's probably what, like 50 fish in here.
not quite that many. More like there's like 20 or
See that
possibly
little
30
pieces of
goldfish,
lily.
About 10 koi. The biggest koi is about a foot.
And how do you filter it here?
So the pond pump broke last winter when it was single digits Fahrenheit, like weeks. So that all is useless.
This looks just like a pool filter.
Yeah, it is. It came with the pool.
Okay.
So that is what I used. It worked pretty well, but that froze solid and cracked because we normally don't get single digits Fahrenheit for a week at a time in Missouri.
Yeah.
Mostly just a day here and there, but so the entire pond was frozen solid, so it was a struggle to keep a hole in the surface for the fish to not suffocate. So it was literally like at least 6 inches thick.
So do you got like a little like pump going right there?
Yes, so that is just a little like self-contained unit, little box filter
Yeah.
thing, and then the trash cans over there. It's a filtration system that one of our brothers-in-law helped me build. So it's 2 different cans linked together from 4-inch PVC from the bottom drain. So from the very bottom of the pond, drains up by gravity
Okay.
into the first can, fills into the second can, and pumps back into the pond.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that works really well. So it's underground.
Yep. So from a 4-inch PVC up into the first can, flows in the second can, pumped back in. Right now I don't have any filter media in there because we literally just got this thing watertight a couple weeks ago. Figured there wasn't much point in putting in filter media at the beginning of winter. But in the spring, I'll get all that going, hopefully get the water.
There's the
nice
other
and
trash
clear.
cans he tried to use. Too floppy.
Yeah, that one was actually going to be a different setup. It was just going to be a hose bore pump into it and then just gravity flow back in.
Thank you guys so much for watching all the way into the end. I really like a lot of his tanks, and his pond is just really awesome. So be sure to, subscribe to my channel and be on the lookout for when, spring comes around and I film another video all about what his pond really looks like in the prime. So, thanks again. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you next time.